Hey, Brew. Oh, hey, Brew.
What happened, mate? What's going on?
I'm just waiting for a mate.
Gentlemen, this is Democracy Manifest.
I'm beached ears.
Bowling till I die, bowling when I cry, bowling when I was born, bowling when I die.
What is the charge? Eating a meal? A succulent Chinese meal?
Down, Bradbury is going to come through and win gold!
Hit my scooter outside the dairy, next minute.
Flamin' mongrel, flamin' drug dealer, flamin' menace, flamin' bargain.
The Antipodean
Poddy. Expats, we are back hot off the success of the first episode. We're doing it all again. Baz, how you going, mate?
Yeah, I'm really good. Just getting back into school. Old Neo had to go to the vet, so drank too much seawater. So he hasn't been too well. So, but yeah.
After the first go, when he started like dry retching, you didn't think?
No, honestly, I watched him. I screamed at him, and he just the kid doesn't understand the difference. He kept drinking and drinking it, but yeah. So that's been what's going on with us.
Yeah.
Well, I've had my family over from Australia. I got my parents, my sister, and her husband all living in my house at the moment, along with 3 children who are on school holidays. So that's a bucket of fun.
Yep.
But we're going to be heading down to Cornwall for a few days, so looking forward to that.
I hope they hear this podcast.
Yeah. But hopefully we get a bit of sun down in Cornwall. It's a bit of roulette with that. Usually it rain whenever I go down there, so I don't have a strong affinity with the place, even though it's where my ancient ancestors are from. Jimmy, been on any good dates lately, mate?
Good dates.
Any good dates lately, mate?
I'm celibate at the moment. It's
yeah.
It's my mother's here, as we can clearly see, and so I've been making.
Well, it's just.
Yeah, pretty much. It was weird. I tried to go on one, and then somehow I don't know if it was my live location was being shared, but Mum just happened to be at the pub. Yeah, it was a weird one. Yeah, but no, I've been pretty good, mates. Me and Mum are off to Sweden in not too long, and looking forward to that. But yeah, just been keeping it pretty relaxed, mate.
Very good. Yeah. So I guess that's a good segue into the introduction of Jimmy's mum. She's been over here with her act Pimp My Son, which she's just been performing up at the Edinburgh Fringe. Kelly Mack, everyone.
Hello, everyone.
Hello.
I have never to you in my life. Only the poor, darling. Okay, if they're rich, it was red carpet to your room. All
That
right?
is such a load of.
It is not a load.
What was the specific rule? We're not allowed a girl in our room until we're 21 or in a serious relationship.
No, not or. 21 and in a serious relationship. And that weeded out a lot of chaff, honey. That weeded out a lot of chaff.
Remind me again, just for the hypocrisy in the room. When did
sorry.
I was about to say that PG rating went out the window. We actually had a talk with Kelly Wright. We're going to keep this PG. She said, "Yeah, guys, no problem." That lasted a whole microsecond.
Do we have a beep sound effect?
Yeah. Just the entire time we're talking. Yeah.
Good stuff.
That's a great stuff. Yeah. Flying stuff.
I want it known now that for the Antipodeans who are listening to this podcast, I was thrilled. Jimmy's father and I were thrilled when he left our shores.
I was about to say when you had me.
Much more rich people in Europe, and they're refined. They're not like Gina Reinhardt's daughters. They're a little bit more refined, and I like that. More family money, less self-made. That's what I was after.
It was always interesting when we went to the podiatrist to get my 6th toe removed. That was
and we did you a service, honey. Okay.
Was that on Medicare?
Beauty is pain. No, in all honesty, for the mums out there who are thinking, I'm concerned about my baby leaving my shores, honestly, you have to remember our stock, whether it's above or below the decks. We understand how it is, because I think I would have done really well 200 years ago in Ireland if Jimmy had come home after a hard day in the potato fields saying, "Ma, You know, I want to try my luck in Australia with the goldfields, and I would have said, here, take this gold coin. I've been hiding from your father for 20 years. And you see him off at the dock, and that is it, man. That is it. You never see them again. Okay, if he strikes it rich, you get £5 in the mail, maybe. Okay, if you want to know about them, you've got to go down to the docks when the ships from Australia come in and say, have you seen my son? He's 5'3", tall for our family. And only to hear, only to hear that he died in a bar fight in Ballarat 2 years ago. You know, it's also, but that's the way it went, and so we're very happy that.
Well,
he did
as
that.
I said, my ancestors from Cornwall, Cornish miners, and they went for the gold rush. And I'd like to believe I'm the first to come back to these to go.
Possibly quite true.
Yeah, it could be. There's a Warren's bakery chain down there, which I mean, I need to claim my stake at some point. Just pay me in pasties, sausage rolls. It'll be sweet. But yeah, Kelly. So how was Edinburgh? How did it all go for you?
Well, I'm going to take that as two separate questions.
Okay.
Okay.
Right.
How was Edinburgh? Edinburgh is a fever dream. It really is. If you are thinking of doing a show there, get fit now. Get your show into shape now, because there are some class acts there. Here are some fun stats for you. Most of these are from artists that I have talked to. You know, I've been going since 1998, that kind of stuff. So here are some stats. One of these is from the Fringe Society itself, and I'll reveal that to you in a moment. So a few years ago, as in like 5 years ago, there were 2,000 shows. Today, 4,000 shows. 4,000 shows. A few years ago, the average audience size was 12. This year, 4. 4 is the average audience, and that, my friends, is the official figure that I got from the Fringe Society itself. So
double the amount of shows and a third of the crowd.
Yeah, the venues have not increased. Okay. The audience size has not increased. Maybe it has, I don't know, but I can tell you what hasn't increased, and that's their disposable income. So if you're a performer, you really need to do the Fringe circuit back home in Australia and get your show into shape in order to compete. Do not overprice, because now we're moving into how did I go? I overpriced.
Right.
Okay, my shows are between £10 and £15, depending on where they were, way overpriced.
So what was like the average cost of a show then?
Either free Fringe or like between £9 and £12.
Okay.
Okay. So, but this was very much for me. This wasn't, I'm going to do Edinburgh Fringe. I tacked on a week's worth of performances in the last week of Fringe when everyone is just sick of it. They don't want to get any flyers. They've spent all their money. So, worst possible time. I tacked that week on to, I want to come over and see my son.
Yeah.
Okay. Who has not sent me £5 in the mail because I'm not So, you have to, this was very much, I'm going to do this, and it's going to be, look, I'm here, I might as well do it. And it was very much a fact-finding mission for me. And I found out my facts and had a fab time, so there were no tears for me. And I thank everybody who bought a ticket to my show. Thank you so much. Please come again in 2 years when it will probably be free at Free Fringe.
Yeah.
Well, I was about to say there. So if you were to go back and do it again, you would probably go into the free, obviously.
I would probably do the Free Fringe, including the pay what you can model, because I am an unknown there. I'm an emerging. I would do it that way. It'd probably make more money, but that's not really what's about. You want just people to come.
You want exposure, yeah.
You want the exposure. And I would go in if I had to choose, like if I wasn't going to do it for the full 3 weeks, because it's a slog. We're talking from the performance perspective between, I would say, 14 to 20-hour days. From the performance perspective, and you're performing, right? Yeah. Or you're handing out flyers, or climbing up 1,000 steps, you know, and going to find your. It's hard. It's hard, people. It's hard, people.
Rigorous days of a teacher. I mean, more that you're pretending to be someone you're not. Exactly. Performing. No.
Like I want to do that.
Please. Yeah.
But yeah, I would definitely, if I wasn't going to do the whole lot, because it does take time for word of mouth to build up.
Yeah.
And Edinburgh, it does survive on word of mouth. That works. Yeah. Either the first 2 weeks or the whole lot. I wouldn't go in at the last week if I was going to do this off the bat, but I'm so glad I did. I found some interesting things out, though, the perception of Aussies. Oh, yeah. I'm not a well-travelled person. I'm not like you lots, okay? Privileged little gits that you are. Okay, I'm not like you. I work for a living, and so I'm not a well-travelled person. Okay.
I think we spoke about that.
The whole first episode was about our illustrious careers.
How hard it was.
And I found out some interesting things because I attended shows that were from English and Scottish comedians. Also some Asian comedians, and I know that's a very broad, but I'm white. What the hell do I know? But the perception of Aussies, we are overpaid, we're lazy, and we're uptight in regards of drinking and smoking and although all of that is true,
I mean, I was about to say we are definitely not lazy.
But mate, according to Scottish contractors, we definitely are. We definitely are.
I mean, that's it, absolutely.
And I'm there with my 14 and 20-hour days, and I'm on holiday. Let's get in. And it was that was hard for me not to get violent when I heard that. The rest I will cop to. Okay. Uptight regarding everything else. You can't have a cigarette outside the cafe. You've got to go a mile away. I get that. But, the lazy thing, that hurt.
Yeah. I mean, Australia's a blue-collar country. I think most people from Australia have a pretty good work ethic, in my experience.
That's what I thought.
Like, especially living in the UK for...
But this is the perception.
10 years, And perception's everything, isn't it? So how do we change
it? It might be different from Edinburgh to London.
Yeah, true.
The more Aussies and Kiwis down here. But
it's definitely a different pace of life, isn't it?
Well, before we jump into that, did you actually get any time to see Edinburgh?
Yes, I did.
Did you see Arthur's Seat or...?
I did see Arthur's Seat.
Oh, okay. And the castle?
I saw it. I didn't actually go up to it. I was walking enough steps, mate.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, not disabled friendly. I don't care how many signs, those signs with the little, little stick person in the wheelchair they put up. Edinburgh is not. I'm sorry.
Right, yeah,
it's not possible.
Yeah.
I'll tell you, the coldest I've ever been was when I went to Hogmanay for New Year's.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah.
You've got a book to go into clubs and stuff. It's 3 a.m. It's snowing. I hadn't booked to go to any club. I just went from door to door trying to get in and then had to walk an hour to my accommodation.
So people are actually booking these clubs as a survival mechanism.
Yeah. No one's having a good time in there.
Yeah. They're going
everyone's soaring out. But I mean, suppose that's not really, but kind of leading to our next question. Kelly, what would you say the overall thoughts are about the festival for expats going up? To see it for next year, what would you say?
Save your coin, okay, because of the accommodation, okay, and everything. Of course, Edinburgh is out to fleece you. Not the shows themselves. I think the shows are very reasonably priced, and if you never wanted to spend a cent, which I would not recommend, you don't have to. Go to the Free Fringe, okay? Make sure you put something in the bucket when they hand it around. These people are performing for you. They need to earn a living. But you can absolutely see some top-class comedy, top-class cabaret, top-class theatre for much less than what you're going to see other places. Where it's going to hurt you is going to be the accommodation, food, drink, blah, blah, that kind of stuff. That's where it's going to hurt you.
I suppose the other thing that I was thinking is there's probably some, Aussie, Kiwi comedians out there. How did you go about getting on the show? What tips could you give them going forward if they wanted to join?
Start early because everybody wants to get up on the lineup. So now we're moving to performers. Okay, performers wanting to get on lineups. Okay. Check out, it'll still be online, the Fringe Guide, and go and have a look at all of the lineup shows that there are. Write them down before it disappears and then reach out very early. Reach out, okay? So reach out not 6 months, 8 months before the next Fringe. And say, hey, this is me, I'm doing this, blah, 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 love you. And just reach out. And if you get into Free Fringe, then they'll probably put you on and you do well. You'll probably get on a whole lot of lineups anyway, just when you're there. Be prepared to socialise a bit and hang around, that kind of stuff with the lineups. Don't tick off, comedians, don't tick off once you do your set, unless, of course, you've got another lineup to go to. Hang around and get to know people, because there's a good chance you're going to be on another lineup at 1 o'clock the next day.
It's a bit like coming over to London, just making friends. You've got to stick around, putting yourself out there.
Yeah.
I think we sort of touched on that last time.
Absolutely. Can I just put a big shout out to Breaking the Musical, which I did get a comp to, classic Australian. Can I have a comp? I'm an Australian, I know. Breaking the Musical. Now, if anyone listening to this podcast doesn't know, well, I'm sure we all know about Ray Gun, okay, in the Olympics, okay?
Are you allowed to say her name?
Fabulous. I know, isn't it amazing? What an okay, in that, I didn't think she was an at the Olympics. Okay, she's having a go, blah, blah. This was the best we had to offer, which didn't surprise me at all. Okay, but when she put an injunction on Steph Broadbridge's show, Ray Gun the Musical, it was like, who the hell are you, lady? Because we've had, let me just think, Shane Warne the musical.
Have you seen the Shane Warne musical?
No. who the hell knows? Wasn't his life a musical? Wasn't his life a musical? Paul Keating, the musical. Gladys Berejiklian, but Gladys, you know, the New South Wales Premier. Gladys, the musical. No one put an injunction on them, but suddenly Ray Gunn puts an injunction on, and of course, no one would have known about it unless she hadn't. So they changed the name from Ray Gunn to Breaking the Musical. She tried to trademark the tracksuit. I don't think that happened because that's the Australian.
It's Olympic
team.
Uniform.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like Ian Thorne with the cabbage.
But what I loved was the dance. Trademarked the dance. So as part of the injunction, they couldn't do the dance in its original form, so they could change up the order of the moves. So they actually taught the audience the dance. But
while we were there, got us to all stand up and like a la Time Warp in Rocky Horror Picture Show. It's just a jump to the left or a hop to the left.
Right.
Okay, that one. But in the different order than what we saw on TV at the Olympics. Yeah. It was one of the best things I've seen, clearly done on a shoestring budget. You got a whole bunch of Aussies who've gone there. It is a fantastic show. The audience was with them from start to finish. And sitting next to me was a dad who'd actually seen it before and was bringing along his son again to see it for the second time. I mean, hats off, outstanding. My favourite moment, besides the fact that we start in Hornsby, how many Edinburgh Fringe shows are you going to see? And our story starts in Hornsby. How fabulous is that? Was the fact that the part of Robert Irwin was played by a sock puppet. So I did love that.
That must have been where their budget ran out.
No, it actually was, because the person with their hand up, Robert Irwin, was Julia Morris, okay, the comedian from I'm a Celebrity.
Oh, Julia Morris.
Yeah, I'm a Celebrity. Well, she's not there, but the person playing Julia Morris is.
I was like,
we're moving into the I'm a Celebrity, get me out of here, because Bobby Irwin doesn't do anything that Julia doesn't want him to do. Right. Satire, people.
Okay.
So anyway, that was a standout show for me.
Breaking the Musical.
Edinburgh is a fever dream, and whether you are a participant or an artist, just go. But be prepared for something that's quite out of your comfort zone.
Yeah. Okay.
All right.
Okay. Now, I guess speaking about standout shows, you recently, obviously, when you first came over to see me in London, you recently did a sold out show in London, of which I was involved in. Now, I don't think many mothers or parents at all get the opportunity to. I guess, insult their son on the stage and get paid to do it. But how
did I insult you? How?
I think it was more of a roast. It was a roast.
It wasn't really. I did not mention. I did not mention that your brother's bigger than yours. I'm sorry, I didn't mention that.
Remember what we talked about at the start? I don't want to be a stickler. I don't want to be a stickler for that.
Pet rooster. Pet rooster.
Yeah, we're talking about the
pet rooster. Okay, I did not mention that your brother's pet rooster was far bigger than your pet rooster.
It was
which you're obsessed by.
No.
What the hell is wrong with you?
Well, when
no one talks about it more than you.
No, it was, when you're a member of the chicken coop, and I mean, it's just flaunting your material. But how was the show? How was everything? How was the crowd? How was
the crowd were outstanding. Yeah. The crowd. I know that they wanted me to roast you more, but it has to be about me. And also the show is called Kelly Mac Pimp My Son. I'm not pimping a dud.
No.
Okay.
No,
I'm pimping the cream of the crop.
Thank you, Dankeschön.
There you go. Yeah, I would be pimping your brother, but he wouldn't let me. Okay, so I had to have you.
Yes.
So there you go.
I mean, yeah, but you can't.
What I did love was that when I did ask the audience there. Now I want to set the scene. I reckon there were about over 100 people in that room.
Yeah.
Over 100 people. Yeah. I did ask who here in the room has had with my son, and 30 people put up their hands. That was, and that did not include
None
people
of them.
going, nudging, Sharon, come on, you've hit that.
Yeah.
They put up your hand. They did, they did not include that.
And they were all blokes.
Yeah.
That's the big.
I put my hand up.
I was so excited.
But that's what I was going to say. So
well, that's where we came up with the idea for the podcast. When I was being little spooned, you're right.
I've been very clear. I've always wanted a gay son, and I was so excited. And I said, "Baby," and you said to me, "Mum, one make a spring." Okay.
I don't want to go back to it again.
Sorry. Okay.
The fact that it was mostly blokes with a hand up, I got to say there was a fair bit of dishonesty in the crowd, allegedly.
Especially from the women.
Yeah, that's what I mean. From the ladies.
Exactly. I think that. Yeah, absolutely.
My question is, Jimmy, how did that make you feel that none of the ladies were willing to claim you?
I mean, I guess I sort of sat there and I thought, I guess it wasn't a good enough
experience.
One might say. I guess if I revert back to the previous conversation about the perceptions of Aussies, laziness must really there might be some validity behind that there.
Lucky I'm a Kiwi.
That's
just very easy to jump ships.
Of which can I point out the amazing representation of this logo here? New Zealand
I do not agree with
I
this.
did not notice that. New Zealand's right like where ACT is. Oh, that's wrong.
Also, I think not getting sidetracked here, but there's probably a couple of you at home that were avid watchers of the first episode. You probably realised two things. He's wearing a Canberra Raiders jumper and wearing the same clothes as we were in the last episode.
You got one outfit in your closet?
Yeah, well, this is how it works. We've got a fantastic mate here called Mooch that sort of put us up for the episode.
Yeah.
And it's not cheap. He gave it to us for free. So we're getting 2 episodes out today.
Actually, Mooch, would you like to talk about the bar? Or
yeah. Come to Big Buddy and get pissed.
Yeah. To be fair, we went
endorsement, kid.
I tell you what, when we went there, like we to talk about the podcast, me and Barry went there, and we got highly intoxicated, and the pizza was fantastic.
The pizza was fantastic. The beers were great.
The hospitality that we got for that was.
So what's it called?
Big Belly Bar. Yeah, in Waterloo.
Big Billy or Big Belly?
Big Belly.
Big like big.
Big Belly
Big
Comedy
Belly.
Club.
Okay,
And the last thing before we move on, do you say you support Queensland, but you go for a team in New South Wales?
Well,
and you're from South Australia?
It's an Australian Capital Territory.
No,
so it's a different. That's actually he's got a point here. He's got a point.
Doesn't matter. It's not from Queensland though.
It's around where New Zealand is on the map. We're just trying to.
That's what's ridiculous. The size on that map. That's actually the size of ACT. That's the whole North Island of New Zealand.
Look, I'm not a graphic designer. This is AI, ladies and gentlemen.
No, I think it's about time that we all just acknowledge that New Zealand is a slave nation of Australia.
Right, do you want to say the things that... do you want to read those things that you said about Australians before? They have nothing to do with Kiwis.
But talking about big bellies, one thing that has really shocked me is the drinking culture, the pressure to drink. I'm not getting all holier than thou. It's just save up, kids, because
in the UK.
Whoa. Okay.
The Heathrow injection, it's real.
Yeah, exactly.
Wow.
Yeah.
And
Me and Baz know all about the Heathrow injection.
And I thought it was bad in London, but then I went and I stayed with some wonderful Glaswegians, and I realised that the Scots are born with an extra liver. I tried to keep up. It's just forget it. And the thing is, there is a real pressure. There is a real pressure. So for those of you who are abstaining, get ready with your excuses and your chainmail.
I think it's
because I asked for my first drink. I asked for was a lemon squash, and I got a double vodka and orange. It was like, you want your sugar hit? Get that into you. And it's like, oh my god.
Well, if anything, I'd say that your order was just, ridiculous.
Yeah, I don't know.
I think I'm on their side.
Yeah,
I'm just
throwing security didn't kick you out
there for any of the Bondi health nuts. Yeah, this is probably not the same.
No,
well, I think it's more. I can't imagine what it's like with you guys when it was like 350 pints. That's just.
It was 250 when I first got it.
Nothing to rub it in.
Oh,
it's outrageous.
And it's quite crazy because you come from home where you're drinking schooners.
Yeah, £2.50
here you're
for
drinking
a pint.
pints,
or Fozzies.
and then you're drinking the pints the same pace you're drinking schooners.
And just to kind of build on what you said, I used to drink pure blonde, Hans Super Dry, the low carb beers at home.
Yeah.
Come here and I'm drinking Foster's because it's the only beer that I like.
Sorry about that.
Don't talk about Mother's Milk.
Yeah. Let's just
I love myself from
3
Foster's
avid Guinness drinkers.
Okay, all right, sure.
Yeah.
When in Rome.
But yeah, just to go back to what you're saying, I did get change for this episode. I was hoping that the boys would bring a change of top so we could make it look like we're recording on a different day. But we're actually recording back to back. So, they left me hanging. I'm a Raiders supporter though. Go the Milk.
To be fair, I am a Raiders supporter as well.
Yeah.
So I hope this doesn't come.
Hopefully,
like so far we've had an amazing friendship.
Yeah.
I really hope that we can continue.
Well, I mean, if they win the grand final, I might start going for them.
mate, fingers crossed. October 5th at Vauxhall Beer and Food Hall, where they're watching the mighty Green Machine get up for the first premiership in 31 years. Anyway, we better get back on track. I think Jimmy, you wanted to.
Oh yeah. I was actually interested, Mum, because when did you come here? When did you come here last to London?
10 years ago with your grandmother, my mother.
Now, we've briefly talked. I'm sure that trip was a lot more planned out than this one. It's been very
planned out.
Off the cuff.
That woman's amazing.
Yeah, yeah.
I can't use the internet, but if you said I want to go to Iceland, she would be able to plan the trip within 24 hours.
It's selective
from here to Reykjavik, okay, and it would the cheapest flights with tours and the whole thing. Yeah.
But I mean, when you first came here and to now, have you seen any change in London?
Apart from the beer prices?
Apart from the beer prices.
That wasn't well. It's very difficult, guys, because there is one change, and I'll get to that in a moment. So it's 10 years, and it was a completely different trip. I'm coming with my mother, okay? I'm coming, and basically,
well, I'm here with my mother, and we've had an absolute.
No, it's time. Your mother is different than my mother, dude. But at the same time, it was fine. It was like, whatever you want to do, Mum, is fine. And I was really fine with that because let's go see the things that you normally see. Buckingham Palace, the Cotswolds, the Tower of London, that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
It was lovely and it was what I wanted. And we were only here for a short time. What I do notice that there's an uptick in the people. Okay, the
more
crowds,
people.
more people.
Okay,
That's it.
yeah.
That's the big thing for me. I wouldn't know about prices. I really couldn't. Tell you
Maybe
about that.
maybe that's a post-COVID thing because obviously during COVID there was no one
But
here.
we were here. We were in 2015, 2014 is when my mother and I were here.
Yeah.
That's not COVID. That's when
No, I mean
COVID
like
is.
during COVID there was no one around, and
Right.
then they've slowly come back. I mean, it's like went to Oktoberfest a couple of years ago, and the crowds were massive. Like even before post-COVID, like there was just so many more people. So it's like everyone's just gone, oh, we're free again. And they're getting out on the street.
It does feel like a bit of a mob scene.
Well,
it's like it's wow.
I mean, I guess
I'm just not used to it. But I come from country New South Wales.
Nana
Even
Glen.
Sydney. Sydney's got nothing on it. Sydney, Melbourne have got nothing on it. Like Sydney New Year's Eve or Sydney Christmas Eve when everyone's out doing their shopping. Nothing on it.
Yeah.
Like even like if we just touch on that COVID chat, like how many Aussies who had planned to come over and they're like, well, obviously we've got to stick it out, and then once that 2 years had gone, they were like, right, here we go. The gates have opened. So it would have been 2 years of just build up pretty much.
I'd love to know what the numbers are now, the amount of people coming over from Australia and New Zealand to the people that were coming before COVID.
I'll tell you what, for a small island, I thought there'd be more Aussies than Kiwis, just via population. There are so many Kiwis.
Yeah, so I mean,
I think it depends where you're from.
Well, you got Kiwis leaving Australia. And it used to be the other. A lot of Kiwis are now leaving New Zealand, and I can remember when a lot of Kiwis they come over to Australia, and then you know what, we can have a better life back in New Zealand, and they were going back, but now it's gone the other way.
Yeah.
I
So
think
it
that goes back
surprise
to what
me.
we spoke to in the last episode. Is the pay in Australia has just gone out through the roof for so many different professions.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, but also the cost of living's gone up as well. Like you're
in
paying
New Zealand
stupid
it's
money.
really, really high.
But
So Kiwis have got cost of living, but the wages haven't kept up with it. All right.
I think that's probably a difficult thing for many.
But I think it also depends, like in terms of coming over to London. It depends where you're from and what's going on there, because you get a lot of people from country, towns coming over from Australia. I don't get that many Sydney-siders come over. I think they're stuck in their bubble a little bit. So I think it really depends on how exciting your life is back in Australia or New Zealand as to whether you come over.
What's actually outrageous is like from Nana Glen, but closest place is Coffs Harbour, and I never thought, and this might take you by a bit of a shock factor.
Okay, I'm preparing.
I
to be
never
shocked.
thought that people over here would know what the hell Coffs Harbour is besides the big banana, right? But that's Australians. The amount of people, British people I meet over here who know Coffs Harbour because they've got the massive touch tournaments.
Oh, okay.
So I'll be out all the time. But they're like Coffs Harbour, like the World Cup for touches in
The
Coffs
tag
Harbour.
is it the tag?
You're kidding me?
No, I think it's touch.
Oh, I think they've had a tag on.
At our international
Yeah,
stadium.
also, I think a lot of people, like a lot of tourists would go, or
East
backpackers
Coast.
would go through there. Like,
Well, yeah, down from like Byron Bay and stuff
Yeah,
like
yeah.
that. I mean, the absolute Shangri-La,
No, it was. It was. I just have to no, it was the absolute Shangri-La. It hasn't been for some time. But I will say now, for anyone who is from Byron Bay, it's your fault. No one forced you to turn your house into an Airbnb. No one forced your parents to sell your house for 1,000% markup. It's your fault. Okay, no one forced it to happen.
I mean, I can't wait to go back.
Your fault.
Can't wait to go back. It's going to be an absolute unreal time.
So I think just kind of going on the COVID topic, and this will kind of segue back into my next question. So I think during COVID was probably the first time I got homesick. So I think a lot of Aussies and Kiwis that come over here, they talk about the things they miss. It's family and friends. Obviously, I can't speak for New Zealand because I've never been there, but Australia, the beaches and the weather and all that kind of thing. I think I start to miss home a little bit between January and March when it's miserable and cold here. Like it's, you kind of start work and it's dark. You finish work and it's dark and there's not really much happening. But I wanted to kind of get your perspective, Kelly, on the other side of it. So Jimmy's been here for 5 years. Do you miss him, or are you glad to see the back of the little weasel?
PG, remember.
You're really on that one, Baz. You're so on that one.
I never thought I'd be the person really cracking down on it.
I love how you're taking the role of censor, because I think like most radio shows have that person sitting there waiting to press the button. So maybe that's what we need
I've
for the
just
future.
been pushed to the side.
We need to give you a button.
What is the age demographic of this podcast that we're aiming for? Because I'm thinking that, you know what? Anyway, I will a Diddy or it's nice to see him clothed because normally when we get the FaceTimes, it would seem he's naked from the waist up.
Oh, yeah.
I don't
To be fair,
understand.
Showing off that massive chest.
Exactly right. Yeah. That nice concave. I know.
See more meat on a butcher's apron.
My father's son. No, but it's fair. You got the
Put some clothes on, okay?
Well, you've got
Your
the
parents
time
are talking to
differences.
us. Who cares? You can put on a T-shirt.
This is
Okay, I
true.
don't need to see your erect nipples during winter, okay, because you can't afford it. I can say that, Baz. I can say nipple.
I mean,
and
I
can say
have mine
erect.
are 24/7 erect, so I can't say much about it.
down in Kent, mate. That would have been absolute icebergs.
We middle of summer and they're still cutting ice.
As a mum, I will say this. When COVID hit, I was furious with James that he stayed here. I was very, get on that flight right now. Get on it right now. And because I will say this, that at least I knew if he did get sick, I would be able to look after him. And let's face facts, we know that if someone gets good care, that their chances of surviving something are going to be much better than if they don't, if they have to do everything themselves.
Yeah.
And I wanted to be able to have that kind of control.
Yeah.
And then I would have happily sent him back. But the little beep did not get on the repatriation.
And I guess
flight.
being like a little runt of the litter, you're more susceptible to these types of things.
Yeah, exactly.
He was a sickly child.
It didn't help as well. I remember, Mum was, being like, please come home, please come home. All those maternal instincts kicking in. And then I remember so vividly, I sent a photo of me. It was a sunny day. I was going to work, like, the streets are empty because it's COVID. And I sent this photo of me, like, shades on in the sun. I'm like, it's sunny. What's the worry? There's no, like, pandemic at all. Like, I'm fine.
The sun's shining.
Yeah, I was like, Mum, pop on over for a holiday. Mum didn't find that very amusing. And I get a message from Dad going, you need to apologise to your mother. Which never really comes through. And when it came through, I was like, okay, I might have crossed the line here with this. Like, yeah.
I was pretty furious. with him.
Yeah.
So,
But he was clear about this was going to be his new home, and he had to go through this with the people who he was living with.
Yeah.
Okay, I don't know who the hell he was living with, so I don't care. But I get what he was saying.
Yeah.
This,
Well, there was
is his new country now, his new home.
And that's it. Yeah, I mean, that is it. I mean, I remember a quote you said when you were in one of your upset states about getting me home. You were like, you've had your little holiday. Blah. And I was like...
That's it. You've had your fun.
And I said, Mum, I don't think you understand. Like, I've got a house and stuff. Well, I don't have a house. But I was like, living there. I've got a full-time job, blah, blah, blah. I can't really just pack up and leave. Which definitely made it tough, obviously, for that. But
And it didn't help that what was coming through to Australia, like we had a nursing home that was getting hit, St. Basil's down in Melbourne, okay? I feel for anyone who had an elderly person who was there, a nursing home. But what we were seeing that was coming through the news from Europe was just a nightmare.
Yeah, from Italy and places like that.
And
yeah.
here.
Yeah,
And
I remember being at home because I did COVID by myself. I had my own flat.
Oh.
Yeah, so that was tough. But I remember
Did you have
sitting
a
at home.
PlayStation?
I did have a PlayStation.
Okay, just making sure.
Yeah,
Just making sure.
I played the hell out of it. But I remember, I don't want to get the facts wrong, but I remember every night on the news they would say, it was like 100,000 deaths or something a day, or maybe that was wrong.
Yeah, and they would have the ticket, they would have
But
the
it was
counter
just like
going
numbers now
this,
you can't think of.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And I just didn't understand this with James because I get this whole risk-taking thing. Okay, I understand that you can lose one of your children because they've taken a risk, but not getting on a free Qantas flight, I don't understand that. Okay, when do you think this is never going to happen again in your life? It's free.
To be
it's
fair,
for me.
I have
That's
never
what
been offered a free
McLaughlin
Qantas
means,
flight ever
okay?
in my life. I'm waiting for that pandemic so I can get a free flight home.
It all kind of worked out for in the long run, though.
And
I
we
think
were fortunate, and that's luck. I will say this right now: that's luck. There are a lot of people who can't.
Yeah,
say that.
100%.
Well, you obviously wife, and during COVID you had your first
second child during COVID. Yeah.
So obviously that comes with its own challenges and stuff in that. But obviously you were quite cemented here. But Barry, did you you're by yourself with a PlayStation?
Yeah.
Never.
Do you know what? It was actually quite tough. So I had my own flat, and that was great. Before COVID, and then COVID hit, and I was stuck.
Yeah.
And I had my heart set that I wasn't leaving. So I was I swear I was one of the people that started when it was like beer pong, but with 8 mates from all around the world.
Yeah.
And I found a place that was delivering small kegs.
These cars would come around and deliver kegs.
And so I became their number one customer on the street.
I remember I did a video where you had to scale the drink and
neck nominate.
Yeah. And I remember you commented on my video are you okay, mate? I had this full beard and I was watching it back. I do look a little bit depressed. And
meanwhile, Barry's in a dark room with his PlayStation. Yeah. Oh man, I'll tell you what though, we'll all agree those park sessions during COVID. Probably still the best summer we've ever seen.
Because everyone was just itching, and they were legal. By the way.
Summer was
and
great.
Everyone was allowed out.
Yeah, we were doing physical exercise, just passing the footy around, really breaking a sweat.
Yeah.
Summer was great, but the full lockdown of the winters were very, very tough, especially when you're on social media and you see everyone back home enjoying the sun because Australia, I don't think was under lockdown for a long time. Everyone, they just kind of closed the
Melbourne
borders.
was, and I need to be very clear here. Melbourne was massive lockdowns, and I did the Melbourne Comedy Festival, the first one after the lockdowns were lifted. And I will tell you right now, that entire city had been affected. There was very, very clear that they'd been affected. No, Victoria got hit hard.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I suppose moving on, the last point we wanted to ask you, sorry, but I forgot how to speak somehow. What's your next plans? I know you're off to Sweden tomorrow.
To Sweden to see some relatives for a week. And we haven't seen them in their home or their country, so I thought we're here, we're going to do this.
Lovely.
So what's the relation?
Greg's cousin, as in my husband's cousin.
Right. Okay.
And they have come down to Australia for a number of trips, so it's really wonderful to be able to
And
go
is
out
that
there.
Stockholm or is it somewhere else?
Stockholm and Nalmo Island?
Yeah, some of the archipelagos. It's I think that's how you pronounce it. I haven't really done my research on this.
So I can say this, we're going to the summer home in Nalmo and we are definitely going to the ABBA Museum. Jimmy doesn't want to. I said, we're Australian, you with your mother, you take him into the ABBA Museum. Don't shake your head at me, Baz. That's what we're doing.
On a scale of 1 to 10, how overrated are ABBA?
I mean,
say
anyone should get abused at a wedding if they're thinking about putting an ABBA song.
No, absolutely not. But I will say this, I don't understand why people are forking over hard-earned cash for the bunch of holograms.
Oh, the ABBA Voyage.
The ABBA Voyage. What the hell is that? Just, YouTube it, mate.
We
Okay.
looked it up. It was like 250 quid or something.
Yeah.
Ridiculous.
I know.
And I've actually got a gig. I've actually got a gig, look, you're looking at me freaked out.
In Sweden?
Yeah, I've got a gig in Sweden.
This is the first I'm hearing about this.
They've heard about me in Sweden. It's got nothing to do with the movies. It's all good.
Right,
so you like ABBA? I got to ask this question. I got a bit of story behind it, but what are your thoughts on the Grease Mega Mix?
Oof.
Okay, this isn't going to bode well for me.
So when you say the Grease Mega Mix, is this just come out? Are we talking about the one that's been out forever?
The movie, yeah.
Oh yeah, from Summer Lovin' into Grease Lightning.
Yeah.
It's Grease, mate. What do you want me to say? You've got Danny, you've got Sandy,
Oh, so
you've got Libby.
you're a fan, are you?
Yeah, I am a fan, but when I say a fan, it's not like on my Spotify playlist. Okay, it's not like that.
So this is going back a couple of years. I think maybe 2 or 3 years ago. New Year's, it was the day before New Year's, and Jimmy messaged me asking me if he could borrow my car, and I'm like, absolutely not. What are you thinking? But and like there are reasons behind it. Like the
seat's obviously permanently set.
No,
Jared's like, it's like no one
taking the front seat out. He sits in the back
I
seat.
said, Jared, I'll get the kids a booster seat. Like,
Yeah.
it's fine.
But I mean, also in the UK, they're much more tough on insurance and things like that. So I said, what do you want it for? He goes, I got this gig tomorrow on New Year's Eve gig down at this private members club called Beaverbrook. And this is a place that's like...
Wait a minute. Beaverbrook? That's not a joke, right?
No, that's legit. Like this is like $100,000 a year membership.
They're
and
insane.
Wind in the Willows, Beaverbrook.
Yeah.
£100,000 as well. Like it's big money, right? So where I said, mate, I got no plans. I'll drive you down there. It's actually near my work. So we go down and we're trying to find our way, and it was a nice joint, wasn't it? Like it was.
Oh, this place,
super posh.
It is unbelievable.
And he had these little, DJ booths up in the corner. They were giving us free drinks, and I spotted one celebrity was Scott Parker, who's I think the current manager for like Burnley or something. Isn't
yeah. No, he was at Fulham. I think,
yeah, he played for Chelsea.
I've got to say before, like when we actually got there, so Matt and Dan, two of my mates, they booked me for this gig, and when we walked in, because we have to dress up, obviously, very nice establishment, and we went in, and this is my first time with Matt and Dan, and we walk in, and for anyone who's not watching the video of this, Jared's 6'6",
yeah,
quite a large frame, and I walked in with Jared behind me, and Matt and Dan go, mate, who the hell have we booked? He's got his own private security. They only told me like
I was dressed that way too. I had a big coat on, black shirt, all that kind of stuff. But so Scott Parker was the notable face there. You could see there was a lot of rich old blokes with young women, all that kind of thing. And it got towards the back end of the night, and I said to Jimmy, mate, play Ed Sheeran Shivers, because it was just come out. It was a banger. I was like, this kind of demographic is going to love it. They're going to lap it up. It's got a nice positive beat. And he goes, nah, I'm playing Grease Megamix. And I've never seen a dance floor empty so quickly.
Now, when we say dance floor, we're talking about the only 3 old men that haven't managed to managed to convince the girl, let's go. But it did. It
just completely emptied. Like there was not a soul left on that dance floor. So every time he's got a gig, I go to him, mate, no Grease Megamix tonight, brother.
Well, it's sort of like when I guess when you're playing like playing a sport or something, and you might get a bit of contact in rugby league, you get a bit apprehensive. I see that song when I'm scrolling through my USBs, and I just think of Jared over my shoulder going, "You're a failure."
I can't stand this. Grease is a classic. Okay, have some respect for Livy.
Yeah.
For God's sake. But at the same time, I wouldn't want to dance to it on a dance floor.
No, I mean,
it's something that sing along in the car
It's got to be a wedding.
I feel like my mum and dad would be pumped for it, but and they're in their 60s. I just, I think that it's a generational thing.
All right, well, I'll make sure it's my first dance at my wedding.
I'm a 90s girl, and I'm saying I wouldn't be dancing to the Grease Megamix either. Bad call. But at the same time, I don't understand the phenomenon that is Ed Sheeran.
Oh, he's the songbird of our generation.
Like, there it is. It's your generation, not mine.
The beauty is no one actually said anything bad about the song because I had my security. It was a great play.
They spoke with their
I will say,
feet.
I think that was a crap cameo of his on Game of Thrones with his "Hey Nonny crap" song. That's all I'm going to say. Game of Thrones.
Oh yeah. I know the one
that was
about.
crap.
I've never watched an episode of Game of Thrones.
No, neither.
To be fair, it's not worth a letdown.
I considered it once, but then I just continued living my life. I got to the point, like, this is, because it was hugely popular when I was still in Australia, and the place I was working at the time, I was the only person in the office who didn't watch it. And
that was your point of difference.
And it kind of, but then I'd go in and go, who watched Origin last night? It'd just be absolute cricket. So I think I didn't quite fit in there.
I was talking to some of my mates once, and they said, have you seen Game of Thrones? I said, no, I don't like it when it's sort of, it's all made up and it's all like magic and stuff. And they're like, what movie have you watched or what movie or series? I was like, I love Transformers.
Because that's based on a true story.
There's real people in that show.
Yeah, it's that high fantasy genre. And the thing is, like, I like Lord of the Rings, although I didn't watch Lord of the Rings until...
Oh, okay.
like till way later. I watched it maybe when I moved here because Harry Potter finished and I was like, I need more. So then I started watching Lord of the Rings. But look, I probably would enjoy Game of Thrones, but I think it's on principle. I'm never going to watch it.
Well, it's nice that you've drawn that line in the sand, but I would not be putting the Harry Potter movies in the same sentence as Lord of the Rings, mate, because that's an entire podcast all of its own. Lord of the Rings.
I'll tell you what, one of the best things I've ever done in London is the Harry Potter Wizarding World.
Oh,
yeah, great.
Thought about it.
No, you're gonna hear it. You're gonna hear it. But it's absolutely unbelievable.
Yeah, that the scale model of Hogwarts at the end.
Yeah.
Just magical.
Yeah, we won't ruin it for everyone, but like, I mean, absolutely unbelievable.
But as promised, we've talked a lot. Thank you, Kelly, for kind of answering our questions and joining with the conversation. But we want to kind of get to one of the topics that we mentioned in episode 1, and today that is going to be networking, how we kind of built our network in London. So I think I'm happy to start with this one, boys. But as I mentioned in episode 1, things they were kind of grim for me for a good 5 months until I kind of met some guys at the local pub at Belushi's Hammersmith, which turned out to be the Hammersmith Hills Hoist team, which I've been part of for 10 years, 10, 11 years now. I think there's a lot of value in joining a sports team or some other kind of kind of activity that people kind of come together to do. I think one thing I do, I've played a lot of sport in my time. I think contact sport is a different level of camaraderie and bonding. Baz, I know you play for the Warriors and you could probably speak on that as well.
Yeah, I think it's very similar. But I mean, things that have probably taken off since I've been here is you get a lot of touch footy, a lot of netball, like mixed netball. I've played some basketball, but that was through the Warriors.
Yeah.
I think these clubs are also growing. Like I can't remember about the Hoist, but for us, we used to just have one team. Now we've got 2 teams, a ladies team as well. Yeah. I know the AFL's huge here.
Well, we were down at the AFL Grand Final because we had a game down at Chizzy a couple of weeks back, and I couldn't believe the numbers down there. There were literally probably thousands of people down.
Lots of these clubs they get hundreds and hundreds of people, fantastic and stuff. And ideally moving forward, we'll get a few of the presidents and staff, and they can talk about it. And all
we can probably tag a lot of the teams in this post as well when we work out how to work our social media.
That's a good shout. Like I guess if you're a representative of one of the many sporting teams within London,
or just activities,
reach out. Like come on the show. Like let's talk about your club. Let's get it out there because I think just get the PR, like getting people because. I considered playing footy when I first moved over here. I had a look. I was like, I want to play in the Challenge Cup. That'd be pretty cool. And then I just kind of put it on the back burner. And it wasn't until I actually bumped into the guys at the pub that I was like, oh, actually, yeah, this is something that I can do and meet people. And that's the only reason I played. I was retired from rugby league for a good 5 years before I moved over to London. And then I ended up playing more rugby league in my 30s than I did in my 20s, and my body's paying for it. Like I'm an absolute wreck now, but the memories it made and the friendships that I've got. Like I remember one of the first people I met, a guy called Vince Spur, who's the current coach of the Hoist, and we were at the pub after I think the first game I played, and he said, "These boys will be at your wedding," and sure enough, a lot of them were. A few years later, so. I think if you can get your foot into a sport, and you don't even have to be a good player. Like there's so many people.
I think that's one of the biggest things.
Yeah, and if you need warm bodies, I would also say make sure that you send your socials, your links to these guys because Australians don't have national service. Our idea of national service is putting our kids in sport.
Yeah.
Okay. There will be no one there who has not had some kind of sporting experience or a team when they were growing. You don't get a choice. You don't get a choice.
So that and like we get a lot of guys that are like, I haven't played since high school, but it doesn't matter. Like there's people at our club who don't play, but they
it's like who cares?
Yeah.
We're not really down here for the footy. It just happens to be you get a lot of good footy players.
But I suppose you're there to run the water or to be the physio or the strapper, and then you get on the beers after.
I suppose, Jimmy, you're a little bit different. I mean, I know you've had that one great game for the Hoist, but what do you think made you? Like, where have you made most of your mates? Would you say?
That's I think just everywhere. When I first moved over, I met Jared through people from the Hoist and stuff, and then through that, we made connections obviously with people from the West Warriors and all that. I went down when I was living in Wandsworth just to train with the Wandsworth Demons for the AFL. I never ended up playing a game, but I met a few people. I've always been very lucky because with doing events and stuff, I'm always put in a place where I'm meeting people and doing that. But it's been fantastic to sit there and be able to point people in the right direction. No matter where you live in London, you will always be, especially with the AFL clubs or even like mixed netball or touch, you will be so close to their training and all that. And then, there's AFL down in Brighton, Reading as well. Like, it's really expanding, which is fantastic. And the opportunities all of these sports provide in seeing the UK as well. But, it's not even that, just not in terms of sport. And, obviously I'm a bit conscious of time and all that, but we can do a whole podcast on other means to meeting people where we do events like Sunday sessions and stuff, or, all these, a diverse range. But there's so many avenues to meeting people in London. I guess sit there and I've been to poetry nights and gone to these. I've gone to art shows.
Whoops. You've hosted like singles nights and things like that as well, right?
I have, yeah. Yeah, I have indeed. That was.
Was it you just going to the pub?
Yeah.
And there you go. No one actually knew it was a singles. It was not a singles night to anyone else at the pub.
I dressed up. I invited a few of my mates down. I said,
you sat next to a girl with a bell. You dinged it yourself.
It was at the bar too, and I just dinged it. And then they're like, "Do you want a drink?" I'm like, "No, I'm not interested."
You slip them a card and see if they're interested. Yes or no.
Yeah. But yeah, we've done all of these sorts of events, and all of them, and the singles night is an excellent example where so many girls made great friends from this, and so many guys. It's just another avenue to meet people. And that's one of the joys of my sort of role with that is people come down, they might be very apprehensive, but I sit there, I take them, I host, introduce people, and it's just what I will say about every single Aussie and Kiwi in London is everyone understands we are all in the same bracket, and we're all so happy to help and support each other. And I've never met realistically any groups that aren't happy with it.
No, everyone kind of gets around each other. I mean, like the last Sunday session I went to that you hosted, I think there was a couple of lads on the table that ended up spending the whole night with us. Like, I think you got to get out. You got to, you might have to get out of your comfort zone a little bit. I think not everyone is an extrovert. Some people are quite introverted and might be shy, but you just got to shoot your shot. You got to find your people, and it'll make your experience in London so much richer.
If in doubt, go out.
Exactly.
What a word. Yes.
Yeah, exactly. Your bread and butter.
Yeah.
Well, I feel that's.
Yeah, I think that's all we've got time for episode 2. So, as we said in episode 1, feedback is always welcome. If you think you got something you can offer the show, reach out via our socials. And yeah, no doubt we'll be back for episode 3 and hopefully more. I feel like we've got a lot to talk about. I think the first 2 episodes have gone quite well. So long may our little experiment last. Kelly, thanks for joining us. Some great insight there.
Awesome.
And
thanks for having me, guys.
Do you want
we're going to
be cancelled because now we're an R-rated show. But it was good while it lasted.
Oh man!
And if you like this podcast and you're rich, my son is right here. He's 29. He's had all of his shots and he's ready to go.
Had all these shots. Hey, info.
Not exactly right. And yeah, thank you very much, Mum, for coming on. And then if anyone wants to support Mum and stuff, I think it's Kelly Mac Comedy on Instagram.
Close. At Comedy Kelly Mac.
Oh, okay.
On Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok.
We'll put it in the link.
Yeah, I'm on TikTok.
Oh, there
exactly.
we go.
Yeah, it's a worldwide phenomenon that I'm still wrapping my head around. All right. Perfect. Well, thank you very much, Mum. Thank you very much, boys.
Cheers, boys.
We'll see you the next
Thanks,
one.
Kelly.
Love
See
you.
you next time.